Hello. Having a great monitor that's set up properly is only part of the colour management story. When you've addressed all the technical issues, you have to be aware of how the human eye can play tricks on you. A properly tuned up monitor won't throw out too much light, but you need to be aware that your eyes become accustomed to the screen and you develop an after image. To demonstrate that, I'd like you to look at this colour image on screen for a few seconds. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On screen, momentarily you saw the colour positive image, but there was never a colour positive image there. It was always black and white, and as you look at the screen now, you see your eyes adjusting to the after image. So the first thing to remember is that you need to take a break from your monitor every now and then to reset your eyes. Scale is also important in colour management. If you were to make two prints, one small and one large from the same photograph, they would look perceptibly different, and this is why. Stare at the white dot for a few seconds. I'm going to bring up some coloured dots on the screen, but don't look directly at them. Our colour vision is a narrow field of view. So whilst looking at the white dot, you can take on board the coloured dots around the white dot without looking at them directly. But now look at those coloured dots. They look more saturated and brighter than you first thought. This is a demonstration of why scale affects colour perception. The way in which you mount or present a photograph also affects its colour. Take a look at the two images on screen, one on a light grey background and the other on a dark. There are two rectangles on the inside of each. I would suggest that the rectangle on the left, closest to the centre of the screen, looks darker than the rectangle on the right-hand screen, closest to the centre. But actually, they're exactly the same colour. So the way in which you mount a photograph, the surrounding colours matters greatly. I'd like to show you how you can assess photographs on different backgrounds. This is particularly applicable if you're mounting a photograph. I've got a single layer here in Photoshop. I'm just going to select all the canvas. So select, that's Command A, Control A. Go to Edit and Stroke. And I'm just going to apply about a 15 pixel stroke to the inside of this image. And this simulates the bevel of a mount. If you right-click outside the image area on the background, we see that we're currently in the Photoshop default, which is a dark grey. I could swap that to black to see what the image would look like on a black background, or to a custom colour, which is by default a white. But I want to change this slightly. I'm going to go to here and go to Select Custom Colour. Because of the red postbox in the foreground, it might be interesting to see what this photograph would look like with a red mount. So I'm just going to move the adjustment down here. Click OK. That's rather strong. Let's just reduce that down. I'm actually more interested to see what this would look like on a light background, so I'm just going to adjust the sliders. So I'm into the warm yellows and quite a muted colour. I think about here would be something similar to an ivory mount, which kind of picks up some of the paintwork and the warm colours of the photograph. Or shift this over a little bit more, so it's a little bit more desaturated. And I'm now seeing this on the kind of mount that I'm interested in. And then from there I could go to View and use some soft proofing, so I could take a look at what this photograph would look like on some photo rag paper. And then if I wanted to, I could go on to further adjust the image, just using curves here, so that I'm making the most of the image on the mount that I've chosen. So that's a little tip for Photoshop. So, it's important to address all the technical issues of colour management, but remember, human perception can be fooled.